Oh, honey, hold on to your teacups because this story is hotter than a front row seat at Paris Fashion Week. Meghan Markle, yes, that Meghan, has just shaken the fashion world to its very core. We're talking whispers turned into roars and roars turned into all-out chaos. The Duchess turned influencer has found herself right at the heart of one of the most talked about scandals of the year. The place? Paris, the setting, Fashion Week, the villain, or maybe the victim, depending on who you ask, is Meghan herself. And the brand throwing the shade? None other than Balenciaga. It all started as a whisper, just a tiny murmur in the corners of the fashion elite. Did you hear what Meghan did? Until it exploded into a full-on storm that no PR team could contain. Picture this: flashing lights, velvet ropes, and Parisian air so thick with tension that even the photographers could feel it. Suddenly, Meghan isn't just a duchess with a Hollywood edge. She's the woman everyone in fashion can't stop talking about, for all the wrong reasons. So, what really happened? Well, the word on the cobblestone streets of Paris is that Meghan tried to sneak her way into some of the most exclusive events of the week. You know, those shows where every seat is handpicked and even billionaires have to wait their turn. Insiders claim she showed up uninvited, draped in designer labels, and flashing that royal confidence like it was her golden ticket. The problem? Balenciaga wasn't having it. Security guards were reportedly baffled. She just walked in like she owned the place, one witness allegedly said, wearing Balenciaga no less, as if that alone was her backstage pass. Can you imagine? The audacity. In a world where every detail is choreographed to perfection, this move sent shockwaves down the runway. Balenciaga's insiders? Oh, they were furious. Some say it wasn't just about an uninvited guest, it was about the message. It was about boundaries, reputation, and the delicate hierarchy of fashion's inner circle. For them, this wasn't just a gate crash, this was a challenge, a royal one. One insider allegedly snapped, "You don't just crash our party and expect applause." Ouch, that line alone could cut glass. Now, before you clutch your pearls too tight, let's be real. Not everything here is 100% confirmed. But one thing's for sure, this fits a pattern. Meghan has always danced on the edge of protocol, pushing through barriers that others wouldn't dare touch. From red carpets to charity galas, she's made headlines for her presence. Sometimes dazzling, sometimes controversial. But this was next level. Paris Fashion Week isn't the place for improv entrances. Every guest is vetted, every camera angle calculated. You don't just show up because you feel like you should be there. To some, it looked bold. To others, disrespectful. Either way, it got the entire industry talking, and not in whispers anymore. And let's talk motive. Because darling, in the fashion world, nothing happens just because. Why would Meghan of all people risk something like this? Insiders say she's hungry, not for fame, she's already got that, but for power, for influence, for relevance. After her exit from royal life, Meghan's been on a mission to redefine herself. Not as a duchess, not as an actress, but as a global icon. And what better way to cement that than by aligning herself with one of the most talked about brands in the world? Balenciaga is the definition of cool currency. Being associated with them can skyrocket a celebrity's fashion credibility overnight. But forcing that association? That's where the line blurs between ambition and arrogance. And in Meghan's case, it seems she might have underestimated the backlash. Sources say her team might have assumed her name alone could open any door in Paris. Maybe they thought the rules didn't apply to royalty, even ex-royalty. But Paris doesn't play that game. Balenciaga's entire empire thrives on exclusivity, not familiarity. They don't hand out invitations, they hand out validation. And the second you assume you deserve one, you've already lost their respect. Behind closed doors, fashion insiders are losing it. This will not be forgotten. One comment read in an industry group chat that's since gone viral, "Once a line was crossed." Those words alone have fashion editors reaching for their lattes and typing furiously. Because when Balenciaga draws a line, it's carved in marble. Some are calling this the moment Balenciaga finally takes a public stand. Not just against Meghan, but against the celebrity entitlement creeping into couture. For the brand, staying silent might even be worse than saying something. Either they make an example of her, or they risk being dragged into her orbit of controversy. And trust me, Balenciaga has had enough PR fires for one lifetime. But of course, the other side of the coin shines differently. There are those who say Meghan deserves grace, that she's being unfairly targeted for simply existing in spaces she's not supposed to be in, that she's being punished for ambition, something men in the same industry get praised for every day. It's a compelling argument. But in high fashion, ambition without invitation looks a lot like chaos. And if Balenciaga follows through and bans her, whew, We're talking a permanent scar on her fashion resume. Imagine being blacklisted by one of the most powerful brands in couture. It's like being exiled from the very kingdom you wanted to conquer. Other brands might follow suit, quietly, discreetly, but decisively. They'll pause collaborations, reschedule fittings, or just stop calling altogether. In fashion, silence isn't golden, it's deadly. Her team, of course, is expected to deny everything. That's PR 101. Glossy interviews will pop up soon enough, all about creative expression, female empowerment, and inclusivity. They'll paint Meghan as misunderstood, a visionary, not a rule breaker. It's a move straight out of her playbook, and honestly, it might work. Meghan's mastered the art of turning public tension into empathy. If she spins this right, she might just flip the narrative. Again. But here's where it gets spicy. Some gossip insiders believe this entire scandal might not even be an accident. Yes, you heard that right. What if this was planned? A deliberate stunt to spark headlines and test the waters of public opinion. In the world of celebrity branding, controversy isn't always bad. Sometimes it's strategic. A controlled leak, as one PR expert put it, to see how far she can push before the world pushes back. And baby, that theory has legs. Because let's be honest, when you provoke a powerhouse like Balenciaga, you guarantee headlines for days. Every major outlet, every influencer, every TikTok fashion critic, they're all in on it now. Conflict, after all, is the oxygen of celebrity culture. And Meghan's team knows how to breathe it in and exhale a rebrand. Still, make no mistake, this isn't just some petty squabble. This is a power collision between one woman's personal empire and one of fashion's most formidable institutions. Meghan wants to rewrite her story. Balenciaga wants to protect theirs. It's not just about a seat at a fashion show, it's about control, image, and legacy. And the fallout could be explosive. Already whispers are spreading that Balenciaga's inner circle is drafting plans to ensure she's never welcomed again. No public statement, no official ban, just a silent erasure, the kind that hurts more because it's invisible. That's how fashion punishes you, with absence. One day, you're on every invite list. The next, your name disappears like it was never there. But here's the twist. Meghan's name still dominates the conversation. For every designer quietly backing away, there are fans rallying behind her online. Social media is ablaze, TikToks dissecting her outfit choices, Twitter threads defending her boldness, and gossip YouTubers with thumbnails screaming, "Balenciaga bans Meghan." The world is obsessed, and that, ironically, keeps her relevant. The question now is, what will Meghan do next? Will she double down, go silent, or pull the biggest PR turnaround we've ever seen? Whatever move she makes, it's going to define her place in the fashion hierarchy for years to come. Because when a duchess and a designer empire collide, only one comes out on top. The drama didn't stop at the runway. Oh no, that was just the pre-show. So what did Balenciaga do? Nothing, not a word. No press release, no statement, no denial, just a cold, calculated silence. And that silence said everything. Because in the language of luxury, silence is power. When a brand as big as Balenciaga doesn't even acknowledge you, that's the ultimate freeze-out. Meanwhile, Meghan's side was eerily quiet too, which only fueled the fire. Every hour she didn't respond, the speculation grew louder. TikTok videos racked up millions of views, dissecting her outfit choices, analyzing her body language, debating whether she had been snubbed or snubbing them. Some even noticed that the Balenciaga piece she wore wasn't from the latest collection, calling it a calculated PR illusion. Brutal. But that's how the internet plays the game. Behind the scenes, though, things were reportedly getting tense. Some of Meghan's close friends in the industry started backing away. Stylists, PR agents, even a few fashion editors, people who once hyped her every appearance, suddenly went quiet. They weren't about to risk their relationships with Balenciaga over one controversy. In the fashion world, alliances are like silk threads, strong until they're not. And yet, despite the whispers and warnings, Meghan still had one thing on her side: attention. Because, let's be honest, love her or hate her, you're still talking about her. Every time someone shares a post, writes a think piece, or drops a meme, she wins another round in the game of global relevance. And Meghan, she knows how to play that game better than almost anyone. Still, the potential fallout could be massive. If Balenciaga's quiet ban becomes official, even off the record, other brands might follow suit. Fashion houses like Chanel, Dior, Givenchy, they all value discretion above drama. And right now, Meghan's name is synonymous with drama. Once that trust evaporates, so does access. And in the fashion world, access is everything. No invitations, no campaigns, no covers, just the slow, icy fade of being left out of the conversation. For Meghan's PR team, this is now a full-blown damage control mission. You can practically hear the strategy meetings echoing. We'll pivot the narrative, make it about empowerment, frame it as an unfair attack on a woman daring to take up space, and honestly, it might just work. Meghan has always known how to turn adversity into ammunition. When she left the royal family, she built an empire out of sympathy and resilience. If anyone can survive a Balenciaga snub, it's her. But there's a catch. Fashion is not Hollywood. It doesn't forgive easily, and it forgets even slower. The people in power, the creative directors, the editors, the investors, they talk, they remember, and they protect their own. A single misstep can follow you for years, haunting your reputation like a shadow stitched into silk. So where does this leave her? Somewhere in between exile and evolution. Meghan Markle is standing on a tightrope, one heel planted in glamour, the other wobbling over scandal, and everyone's watching to see if she'll fall or make it look like part of the show. Meanwhile, Balenciaga remains as cold and untouchable as ever. They don't need to say a word. Their silence has already drawn the battle lines. By refusing to acknowledge her, they've reminded the world exactly who controls the gates of high fashion. And it's not the celebrities trying to sneak through them. Still, you can't help but feel a little awe at Meghan's audacity. The same fearlessness that infuriates her critics is what fascinates her fans. She's not just walking into rooms she wasn't invited to, she's rewriting the rules of entry. Maybe that's her real rebellion. Maybe this entire drama, as messy and chaotic as it seems, is part of a much bigger picture. One where Meghan refuses to bow even when the doors close. And let's face it, even if Balenciaga never calls again, there will always be another brand hungry for attention, another opportunity waiting in the shadows. In celebrity culture, the line between scandal and spotlight is razor thin. What burns you today might make you shine tomorrow. So as the dust settles over Paris, here's what we're left with. A modern-day clash between ego and elegance, fame and exclusivity. Balenciaga wanted control, Meghan wanted access, and in the end, they both got what they wanted. Headlines. Because love her or loathe her, Meghan Markle remains the conversation. She's the name on everyone's lips, the face on every thumbnail, the story every outlet can't resist repeating. Balenciaga may have drawn a line in the sand, but Meghan, she turned it into a runway. And that, darling, is how you turn scandal into legacy.